It is 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess Erin decided to start her day early today.
Well, at least she's happy. But man, it's going to be a rough day with such little sleep. You'd think we'd be heading to a theme park with that level of excitement.
In my personal opinion, the only reason to be up this early is if we are actually headed to a theme park.
Well, we may not be headed to a theme park, but I do know a way that we could wake up and get a little piece of that theme park magic here in our living room.
Dress Erin up as a wizard and pretend like we're riding on Forbidden Journey?
No.
Sing It's a Pirate's Life for me and splash water on our faces?
What? Never mind. We should brew a pot of Expedition Roasters coffee.
Oh, that's a much more sensible idea. I guess I'm too tired to think straight. What flavor should we make?
I'm thinking that maybe we could try their newest flavor, Wonderland Coffee Crumb Cake.
Oh, that flavor sounds really good. Or we could brew Fortune and Glory Bourbon Streusel. Or Enchanted Tiki Coconut.
Honestly, I'm so tired. I have a feeling that we're going to have multiple cups, so let's brew them all.
Uh-oh. Sounds like Erin requires our immediate attention, if you know what I mean. Want to take this one, Daddy?
What was that? I think I hear the kettle boiling already. I'm going to go grab that and make the coffee, okay?
But the kettle wasn't even on. Oh, well. As long as he comes back with a cup of Expedition Roasters, I really don't care. Come on, Erin. Let's go take care of business. Start your expedition today at expeditionroasters.com and use coupon code DUO15 to save 15% off your first purchase of Expedition Roasters themed coffees, shirts, and mugs. You can even get an art print of your favorite bag design. Brew your happy place. Expedition Roasters, an adventure in every bag.
Hi, and welcome to the Theme Park Duo podcast. Grab your park map, churro, and hop in line with us as we take you on a coast-to-coast adventure through the world of theme parks, haunts, conventions, and more. Now, here's your hosts, Nikki and Gabriel.
Hey everyone, welcome to another great episode of the Theme Park Duo podcast. I'm Nikki.
And I'm Gabe.
And we are
the Theme Park Duo.
Now, I promised everyone the punchline to a joke from last episode, and I am here to deliver.
I'm just completely shocked that you're going to deliver.
Why?
I honestly thought you forgot.
No, I didn't forget. I give the people what I promised them.
I thought you were going to say, give the people what they want, because I was going to say, I don't know if they want this.
That's why I changed it mid-sentence. Okay, so my joke was, why did the skeleton cross the road?
Why?
To get to the body shop.
That's bad. That's real bad. That's really bad.
I never promised good Halloween jokes.
That's true. You didn't. You never once promised quality.
Stay tuned.
Just quantity.
There's another joke later in the episode.
Yes, there is.
Continuing with the skeleton theme this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the show. On this episode, we're going to be talking Halloween Horror Nights 2019 here at Universal Studios Hollywood. So Nikki and I were lucky enough to attend Media Night for Halloween Horror Nights out here. We got to experience everything and some stuff more than once.
Yeah.
So we had a really good time on the opening night. It was Media Night, Fan Night, and Famous People Night.
Yeah.
It was multi-night.
Yeah. Who did we see?
Seth Green.
Seth Green's the only person I saw in person.
Greg Nicotero.
Oh, yes.
Eli Roth. There was a couple other people. I think we saw Dan Aykroyd from afar. I'm not 100% sure.
He was all over the place.
That night. But He was there too. There was plenty of famous people there that night, but we had a complete blast. But before we jump into discussing Halloween Horror Nights, we need to first go to Nikki's Halloween Joke Corner.
Oh, yeah.
Were having their midnight fling. The merry making was in full swing. The street themselves to a cheerful dance. When the skeleton in the closet did his dance. Now goblin giggled with fiendish glee. A shout rang out from a big banshee. Amazing was every ghostly glance. When the skeleton in the closet started to dance.
Okay, Nikki. What do you have for us today?
Okay. Well, I promised another skeleton joke. I honestly expected this segment to be later. Like, I literally just delivered another joke. But
No,
fine.
it's the first thing. This isn't going to be the last thing.
Okay. Okay, so there's another one later. I have plenty of skeleton jokes.
No, there's one each episode.
Oh, I can't just throw in an extra?
Well, you can if it just fits into the conversation.
I'm just going to throw one in at the end of the episode.
Okay, fine if you want to.
It's a hook to keep people interested.
Or is it a deterrent?
We'll find out.
We'll find out based on the numbers.
Okay. Hey, Gabe.
What?
What did the skeleton order at the restaurant?
What did the skeleton order at the restaurant? A bone-in steak.
No, but close.
Boneless wings.
No. Do you want to stop guessing so I can
Yes.
tell you?
It's fine. Rude. You asked me.
Because that's what you have to do with the joke.
I guess so.
He ordered spare ribs.
Oh, I wasn't that far off.
No, you weren't
I
that
really
far
was
off.
not. Okay, I'm kind of proud of myself for getting close
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking of all the bone puns.
Yeah.
Spare ribs.
Spare ribs. In case he loses some.
That's so dumb. Anyway, now that we have that out of the way,
I feel like you resent my segment.
I don't resent the segment because I'm the one that created it. Maybe I
At
resent
my-
myself for creating
At
it.
my whim of a promise that I made to our listeners.
That you're gonna have jokes every episode.
Yeah.
Hey, you started it.
I did.
Well, actually, I started it. We started it.
Yeah. Well, we started the podcast. I guess it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, I guess so. That would make sense.
Okay, let's talk about Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay, Halloween Horror Nights, everybody. Right off the bat, just to kind of talk about it in general, I think this is probably one of the best years they've had in a really long time.
I agree. I completely agree. Like I was kind of losing my interest in Halloween Horror Nights a little bit. You know, just not IPs I was really interested in. Kind of, you know, the same gags over and over again. And this year they like blew it out of the park. Like cool IPs. You know, a few different gags and just really, really, really quality mazes.
Just from top to bottom as an event, I felt like it was better. I mean, that doesn't mean that there weren't missteps.
There were still missteps, yeah.
But from top to bottom as an event, it felt much better than it has in the past.
Yeah, and I didn't miss the Terror Tram.
No, I didn't really miss the Terror Tram that much either.
Yeah.
I think that the wait times were inflated just a little bit more because there was a lack of a Terror Tram. So I mean, inevitably that's gonna be the decision whether or not they're gonna want to keep Terror Tram away or bring it back based on the lines and whether or not people are okay with that.
I don't think that the night we went was a fair assessment of wait times because we went on media night along with, you know, celebrity night. So there was a lot of private go-throughs of the mazes with like celebrities and influencers, you know, not lights on, but like, you know, a camera with a light. So, and they had to stop the line several times.
You're 100% correct,
Yeah.
but I'm basing this statement off of the second night where that wasn't happening.
Okay.
And every single line was either 100 minutes, 150 minutes, or 200 minutes long.
That's a long time.
So each one was over 100 minutes, regardless of what it was.
Yeah.
Even the worst ones were still outrageous times. So I do definitely think that the lack of Terror Tram has a lot to do with the wait times.
Definitely. Terror
So-
Tram was a people eater.
Yeah, it really was because you just literally ship out thousands of people away from the park and just get them away from the lines. That's really what that was.
Yeah, and I think they added a few more mazes to, I think, try to help spread the people out, but it just didn't work. Not as much as they wanted it to.
It doesn't. It would never work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's start off talking about Halloween Horror Nights. Let's talk a little bit about some of the food offerings that they had this year. Some unique food offerings that they had.
Okay.
So I know that we actually got to try some. We made sure we went out of our way to try some of this stuff.
Definitely.
So if you go down to the lower lot where Jurassic World is and The Mummy and Transformers The Ride, you will find the Starcourt Mall, where you can buy foot-long hot dogs or the upside-down burger.
The
tachos.
Like
yeah, it was the upside-down
tater tot nachos.
Tachos
Yeah.
or the Demogorgon tachos.
Something like that.
One of those two things.
It looked delicious. We didn't eat that.
Yeah, so, and that had like nacho cheese and hot Cheeto dust and stuff like that. So I actually got the upside down burger, which was essentially a cheeseburger with 2 tomatoes, nacho cheese, and the hot Cheeto dust. And it was literally served upside down. So just the top of the bun was on the bottom and the bottom of the bun was up top. And it came with tater tots.
Yeah.
It was a little expensive. I think it was like $16, $17.
Yeah, it's theme park food. What do you expect?
You can't really do too much about that. But I actually did enjoy it. It was actually kind of tasty.
Good.
I really did enjoy that.
Good.
And I know you got something else. What did you get? Oh wait, you went to the studio grill.
For food I just got generic fast pre-made sandwich because I was starving.
Yes.
And I don't eat red meat, so that's what I did. But that's fine. I saved up all my pennies and I got the Mind Flayer shake.
So literally almost across the street from the Starcourt Mall, which actually is the ice cream place, which is to the left of the Starbucks, turns into a Scoops Ahoy.
Scoops Ahoy!
And they have unique different ice cream things that you can get that are all based on Stranger Things. So there's one with waffles in it, and then there's the Mind Flayer shake, the one that we got.
Yeah.
The Mind Flayer shake has strawberry preserves at the bottom, chocolate ice cream that is dyed black, with chocolate mousse, Oreos, a chocolate cone sticking off the top, and then black licorice legs flying out the side.
Yes, we swiftly discarded the black licorice legs.
I tried to eat it because I like black licorice.
I hate black licorice.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why I took them out and kept them for myself. But because the shake was so cold, it made them rock solid.
Yeah, like frozen.
So I tried to put it in my mouth and take a bite, and my teeth nearly shattered. So there was like no point in eating those. But overall, I felt the shake was actually pretty tasty.
It wasn't bad, and I like the strawberry preserves, that you got in your straw every once in a while. It was tasty.
It cut through the kind of intense chocolatey
the
flavor.
The shake was intense. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very intense.
The cone was good.
The cone was a cone. The cone tasted like a cone.
I like a good cone.
I know you do.
It was a good cone.
Because you're coney.
What?
Like corny, coney?
Coney.
Close enough.
Coney. Yeah, so Scoops Ahoy and Starcourt Mall food, both very good themed food options for the lower lot.
And the fact that they're even offering things that are themed food options for Halloween Horror Nights makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because this is the one and only time that you could actually do something like that at the park. And I feel like when you attach a name like Stranger Things to a food item, it makes it that much more appealing. So, like, even if you go further down, if you go to the back lot, they had extra food items down there that were all based on other food.
Yeah.
They had a hot dog that was a slimed hot dog that was green. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they had like Ghostbusters themed foods and other stuff like that down there on the lower lot. We didn't get to try much of that stuff. We spent a good chunk of time on the back lot. But it wasn't eating, it was going on all the mazes.
Yeah, it was going on the mazes multiple times.
Mm-hmm. But there are a ton of different food options to kind of choose from.
Yeah, I can list them
if you're
off.
visiting. Yeah, Nikki, go down the list. We have the map right in front of us.
There's Halloween Horror Bites, which has hot dogs, corn dogs, chicken, mac and cheese, the Ghostbusters Zool's egg sandwich, and Slimer dog.
The Zool's egg sandwich did look good.
It did look good. Yeah, so there's your themed food for that one. And then there's a Dia de los Muertos bar, Killer Snacks, which is popcorn, desserts, and beverages, Tricks and Treats, which is churros, pretzels, ice cream, desserts, beverages, and then by the tram there's just your normal carnival cart, which had mini donuts and candy apples.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of extra food items during Halloween Horror Nights that you can check out that'll keep your buzz going, your sugar buzz going.
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be getting you through the night, because it's going to be a late night.
Yes.
So, But those are the food options, and let's start talking about some of the scare zones.
Let's do it.
So the entry scare zone to the park. So as soon as you enter the gates, the first thing you go through is Fallen Angels.
Yeah.
Explore crypts packed with restless ghouls and escape angry skeletons that have taken over Main Street. If you think the aged statues are creepy, wait until you encounter the Wraith, who will literally be watching over you. You can also spread your own demonic wings while you're here, but you be sure not to antagonize the Angel of Death. So when they say spread your own wings, there's actually a photo up there, which they've done angel wings things around Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But this is demon devil wings on a wall. You stand in front of it and they take your picture. It looks like you have wings.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Fallen Angels is the area that you're going to, with a Z by the way, Fallen Angels.
Of course.
This is the area we're going to find a ton of chainsaw people.
Yeah.
Like they're everywhere.
It was actually really cool.
That's the
zone.
angry skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the angry skeletons, but to me, I really liked
skeletons.
Yeah, they're kind of like jeweled,
Yeah.
like bejeweled all up. Bejeweled is like a very crude way of explaining it, but they have jewels on them. Yes, they have jewels all over their face, and it's very pretty.
Yeah,
not often a word used in haunts, which we have used multiple times over the years, but generally pretty. Like they're pretty to look at, although they're moving very quickly and trying to swipe at you with chainsaws. Very nice to look at. I actually found the living statues probably the creepiest out of that zone.
Oh, yeah.
Just because the way that they moved, it almost looked like they were popping and locking.
Yeah.
They were like like moving like that. Almost like the dolls in Dollhouse from Scary Farm a long time ago. Like they were just stiff and trying to like move. It was really neat. I really appreciated the attention to detail on that.
Oh, yeah.
So once you get through Fallen Angels, you move into Spirits and Demons of the East.
Ooh.
Sacred antiques have just been shipped over from the Far East, and they didn't come alone. Many of these artifacts were stolen from ancient temples and carry angry spirits with them. Now the spirits roam New York Street, looking to exact vengeance on anyone who dare steal such sacred relics. Be careful out there. These powerful demons can look like anything, even innocent school children. This scare zone actually was, to me, the most, like, unnerving.
Yeah, that stilt walker was probably one of the scariest things I've ever seen at Halloween Horror Nights.
It was a stilt walker that was on all fours, so stilts on the legs and stilts on the arms, and it looked like The Grudge, so just a very pale girl, long black hair, but it had its mouth
bloody.
Was gaping open with, like, this black liquid coming out of it. It was very off-putting.
Yeah.
Very off-putting.
And it would just stalk through the crowds over the heads of
I don't know if
people.
it's a guy or a woman, but they would get like really low and like come up behind people's heads, and it almost looked like it was gonna like swallow their head. It was very unnerving. It was very messed up, and I really liked it.
Yeah, no, it was so cool.
Something about stepping back in that scare zone and actually watching somebody on all fours that tall crawling back and forth was a very neat visual.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of other characters, all of them kind of ranging in the realm of different Asian styles. They had like a dragon mask guy. They had like an emperor looking dude, a geisha, a few different things like that.
Didn't they have Momo?
They had something that definitely looked like Momo.
Yeah.
I don't know what was up with that.
Yeah.
But it 100% looked like Momo. If you don't know what the Momo challenge is, look it up. And then imagine that running around the streets.
Yeah, it was
of
creepy.
Universal Studios.
I like actively stayed away from her because she creeped me out so much.
Yeah, she had these big eyes, and she just held her hands up to her face and just walked around stalking people.
Yeah.
Very unnerving. Really liked it. So, so far, 2 of these scare zones are thumbs up in my book.
Yeah, thumbs up for me too.
You know, usually sometimes the scare zone is very hit or miss. Like, these 2 were very much hit for us.
Yeah, I've been angry in the past over their scare zones, but this year...
And it isn't because of the theme, it's because of the layout, it's because of where they're placing them.
I still have all those issues. But this year, I just didn't let it bother me that much.
I think there was a lot good about this event, that's why. It's easier to get by it all.
Yeah.
So the next scare zone, which this is another one of those things where it's like pseudo scare zone because you
air quote scare zone because
you exit a maze and it's there, but you can't actually go through.
It's an extension of their maze.
Exactly, and this is Christmas in Hell. You'll likely feel a faint sense of relief as you exit Holidays in Hell maze, but it won't last long. Navigate through the Christmas trees littering French Street and make your way through our twisted takes on many holiday traditions. A giant nutcracker may be looking for a skull or two to clamp down on. The Winter Witch and Drac Frost himself will be celebrating as well, and they may not take too kindly to you interrupting their festivities. And just when you think it's over, beware of the New Year's baby. He's cranky. So this, like we said, it is at the exit in the description. It's at the exit of the Holidays in Hell maze, so you can only go through this scare zone if you go through the maze.
So, to me, it's an extension of the maze.
It's an extension of the maze. Like, to me, this is one of those Universal Studios Hollywood things where it isn't really a scare zone.
Because you can't go through it just randomly.
Yeah, you're not forced to go through it. You actually have to go through the maze, and that's one of the downfalls with this kind of stuff, in my opinion. There's one thing I really don't like that they do.
Yeah.
It makes it unique to the maze, which if you go through the maze, awesome. Like, that's perfectly cool.
Yeah.
But if I don't get to go through Holidays in Hell, I don't get to experience Christmas in Hell.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of a letdown. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be exclusive to the maze, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't get why they do that. I remember when they used to have those two streets, so French Street and then the British Street, and they would each be their own scare zone, and you could wander from one to the other, and it was great.
From one to the other, and it was great. My name's Juan,
and that maze that's in the middle part would just spit out into the scare zone on the right.
Well, the reason why right now that I feel like they're doing this is because of a lot of the major construction that's going on for Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah.
So there isn't really an area to go to.
That's true. And
it's very narrow.
The years before that, they stopped it because of the construction on Despicable Me. So there's been a lot going on over there recently. So I get it.
Yeah. So I mean, there may be other reasons for this. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I don't really have a reason for it, but to me, the construction for Secret Life of Pets is a majority of the reason why I would believe they're doing that this year.
But they could also just move that scare zone out a little further to in front of the animal actors, and then it could be accessible to everybody.
See, I have a feeling that they didn't want that because then there must be reasons for not having a scare zone right there, right next to the food location, getting too close to Hogwarts. Like, even though Hogsmeade is not open, maybe they just don't want it getting that close. I have no idea. I have no reasons for it. I agree with you. I think it should be further out so that it's more accessible. I think all scare zones should be accessible to everybody, regardless of whether or not you're going through a maze.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of one down thing for me here.
But even with that, I did like the scare zone.
No, I loved it. I thought the scare zone was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The Nutcracker guy, bent over in my face, and I had to, lean back really, really, really far.
Yeah, no, to
get away from him.
They were really good actors. It was chock full of, scare actors, and I liked the New Year's theme at the end. There was, this skeleton, kind of decaying-looking flapper lady who was just, had I think a martini glass in her hand. She was super cool, and then that baby was nightmare fuel.
It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
There was a woman that got chased out by Father Time and by the Nutcracker guy, and that was the most hysterical thing I think I saw all night. It was so funny. She was not having a good time at all, and I was having the best time watching her get that scared.
Yeah.
But big kudos to all those scare actors in that zone because they did a really, really good job.
Definitely.
As soon as we came out of the maze, they were completely harassing us.
Yep.
And I had Mrs. Claus all up in my face, and I really didn't appreciate it.
She was creepy, too.
In the best
she
way.
had, 5 chins.
5 chins, and she was just staring at me. She wasn't jumping at me or anything.
Yeah.
Just staring at me, and that makes me feel very uneasy. That bothers me way more than the jump scares, you know what I mean? So, the next major scare zone, one that you actually are forced to walk through, Toxic Tunnel. This has 3 X's, which just reminds me of something inappropriate.
They should have just made it 4.
4 X's or 2 X's, just skip 3. Yes, if you wish to experience the mazes on our Metro lot, you'll have to get through the tunnel once again. This time, the warped and cartoonish members of our demonic custom car club have taken over, and they don't plan on letting you get very far on foot.
With the 3 X's, they should have had the toxic spill happen in like a nightclub or something.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Have like decaying strippers everywhere.
I feel like that's a thing that only Horror Nights can get away with, but at the same time, they would get in trouble for that. I would love it. I think that'd be funny. I like that kind of stuff. Not strip clubs, just
decaying strippers.
Decaying strippers. I like that idea. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
I really like this. I've always liked Toxic Tunnel. I've always thought Toxic Tunnel was very fun.
In whatever form it's in, I like the scare zone in the tunnel.
The lighting scheme is very, very well done. It makes it so that they have little moments to get closer to you without you knowing, because I think it just gets dark for a half a second. And I've always liked the high energy nature of it too. The actors have always done a really, really good job. Now that they've kind of taken it in a direction that's a bit more cartoonish, a bit more fun, a bit more silly, I actually think it lends itself a bit better to the experience of Horror Nights as a whole, because most of Horror Nights is relatively serious.
Yeah.
And you have this one moment where you have these goofy-looking characters with, like, wrenches sticking out of their heads, and they're carrying car parts to hit you with them, and they're playing rockabilly music really, really loud. It's a psychobilly freakout, you know, like all that stuff. It's super fun. Yeah. I appreciate the stark comparison between the serious horror and the ridiculous horror stuff that they've been doing during the season. Yeah,
no, I love it too. It's a fun scare zone, and I would probably just go back and forth. If I could.
No, seriously. I mean, like, there can be lulls in there where you're getting, like, shift changes and there's not that many monsters. And that
definitely.
That
happens everywhere.
Yeah, and that makes this experience pretty lame. But if you hit it at the right time, oh, man, Toxic Tunnel could be a blast.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then the last scare zone on the list, and I'm actually glad we're reading a description.
Because we didn't have one before.
No, not even that. I just didn't understand it.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the scare zone going through it. It's called All Hallows Eve, or All Hallows Evil, which in general doesn't say too much by the name. So I was a little confused. I'm sure we read this on the show, but I completely forgot it.
Probably.
Oh, we 100% did, because I corrected your pronunciation of Samhain, which was mispronounced Sam Hain in the movie Halloween.
Yes.
Which, that's what I was referencing when we were talking about it. So, All Hallows Evil. Halloween isn't the only holiday that happens this time of year. The Celtic festival of Hop Tuna is celebrated on October 31st as well. There's also All Saints' Day, followed by All Souls' Day, and of course Mexico's Dia de los Muertos, all of which share this season with the centuries-old Gaelic festival of Samhain. Samhain celebrates our traditions into the darker months at the end of the harvest season. The souls of the dead are thought to return home on this night and are welcomed with costumes and bonfires. Some say that the costumes were actually intended to protect oneself from these otherworldly beings. Here's hoping they're relatively peaceful during your visit. That description still doesn't really help me with what we saw.
It's old-timey.
I'm sure all of it is historically based,
yeah.
Which from the description, it very much sounds that way.
Yeah.
So a lot of the monsters, I'm sure, are based in fact in some
lore
within each one of those celebrations. It's just from a general part goer, I feel like it kind of just goes over people's heads.
Where in ancient lore is ghillie suit creatures?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But they got me. They got you too.
No, the ghillie suits always get me. They're I mean, as it was, like, knowing the full depth of the description or not, I enjoyed going through it. But granted, we went through it like pretty early in the night when it wasn't packed. Like when people are herded through there and it's like wall to wall people, it's not fun going through there, and I do not enjoy it at all.
And it's like a mini maze. It doesn't work as a scare zone, in my opinion, based on like how the layout is. Like you said, when there's a billion people in there, it's just not fun.
Yeah, no. So I enjoyed the theme. I enjoyed what I saw.
Liking it.
Yeah, I enjoyed what I saw for the experience I had at the time. But not everyone is going to get that experience. Not everyone is going to go through when it's not packed with people. So I would just tread lightly on that one. And maybe if you see like 1,000 people going in it, skip it, go to the mazes, and come back at a later time.
Yeah, I would make sure you go through there when there isn't a bunch of people because it gives you a better high probability of getting scared.
Yeah.
When there's that many people, the monsters just kind of roam. They don't really hide.
Yeah, and it's just stressful.
It is very stressful when it's like a sardine can.
Yeah.
It could get pretty gnarly, especially in the long, narrow sections. If you've been through the ghillie suit section, you know what I'm talking about. That area is very narrow. So having hundreds and hundreds of people go through there is not going to be that easy. So that's how we feel about the scare zones. Overall, not bad this year.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. I actually really like when Halloween Horror Nights focuses on like historical, real world things and takes them in a certain direction. I like when they do that. It allows them to kind of create these very weird, very off-putting characters that I appreciate. And I feel like Murdy very much appreciates real world examples for stuff when it comes to Horror Nights.
Yeah.
You could tell that he does. And he cares about that kind of stuff. So whenever he cares about it, you know that there's going to be a lot of effort put into it.
Yes.
Which is nice. So I really appreciated the scare zones this year around. So finally,
Mazes.
let's talk about the mazes. And we're going to be talking about the mazes from our least favorite to our number one.
Power rank.
So we're doing from 10 to 1. Nikki, what is our number 10 maze of Halloween Horror Nights? The one that we liked the least.
This might be a shocker. Might not be a shocker if you've already been to Halloween Horror Nights, but our number 10 pick.
Before you say this, I definitely want to put this out there that every critique, everything we're talking about today, with regards to the scare zones, to the mazes, to the afters, to everything, this was the first night.
Yes.
So, we sound like a broken record. Every year we say this. This was the first night. Things can change. Things can adjust. Things will be added. Things will be taken away. So, these are all based on our experiences that night. We know that things will get better.
Yeah.
We know that. So, with that being said, let's move forward with our list.
Our number 10 pick is Stranger Things
2.
2 slash 3?
Slash 3?
3?
Sorta. Yeah, this one fell at the bottom of our list. It just, on many accounts, didn't feel very cohesive.
Finished.
It didn't feel very finished or polished as much as Halloween Horror Nights mazes are polished.
Yeah.
Which they are very polished.
It just felt like it wasn't given the love it deserved.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like, based on what we saw, we needed it to be in a soundstage. I would have given the soundstage to either Ghostbusters or Killer Klowns.
Definitely Ghostbusters, in my opinion.
To show much larger scale sets based on what are in those two films.
Yeah.
A couple things come to my mind is, the end battle in Ghostbusters would have been done very well there. Or even giving the vertical space for Killer Klowns to do Clownzilla.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like we needed to have this in the soundstage. And it almost felt like they had too much space, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
There was a lot of rooms where there wasn't much going on. It felt like there was almost a bit of a lack of actors, and this could just be like talent switch for us.
Yeah.
Lack of actors.
And a lot of
water effects.
A lot of use of the same gag over and over again.
So there was a lot of hand puppet stuff that was kind of going on, and a lot of water effects. We were getting very wet in this maze. I did not feel like it was that necessary. There was even water coming down from the ceilings at one point.
Yeah, I did not like that part.
There was a lot of water
and it
effects.
wasn't just like a light spray. It was like a super soaker.
Like, it was a heavy spritz.
Yeah.
Very heavy spritz. And just the overall design, I think, could have been better. It definitely could have been better, because I know that they can do better, especially after seeing some of the mazes that are going to be on our list.
Yep.
I know for a fact they could do better.
Yeah, and in my opinion, Stranger Things 3 shouldn't have been a part of it, because they didn't have anything from it in the maze.
Yeah, it should have been saved for next year.
Yeah.
It should have been its own thing, because you could have easily done a little bit more with Stranger Things Season 2 in this maze. Everything felt very one note and similar. A lot of Demodog puppets, a lot of hand puppets. I mean, I would think that the scene where we watch Bob get killed is probably the best scene in there.
That was
I reached my hand down because I was like, "No, Bob," and he like reached out for me, and I was like, "No!" That was my favorite part of the maze because of the interaction with the scare actor. Like, I really appreciated that. But
the one of like, I wouldn't say I'd be far off if I said there were 4 scare actors in the whole thing.
1, 2, 3,
4.
4, yeah. No, 1.
Oh,
2,
and the 2 guys
3,
in
4,
suits. 6.
5, 6, like 6 or 7.
6, yeah.
Usually there's a lot more than that.
Oh yeah, in a maze that big.
More. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that last year's Stranger Things maze set this up for disaster too, because last year's was pretty damn good. Like, it was actually really fun.
I'm so sad I missed it.
It was very, very fun. And it really stinks that we got something like this that didn't really live up to what last year's was.
Yeah.
So that's why it ended up being on the bottom of our list for 2019.
Yeah.
The next one, number 9, no hiding this one. I mean, it's The Walking Dead. This is the year-round attraction that's here at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Yeah.
Not much changes for Halloween Horror Nights. They add one more zombie scare to the maze.
Uh-huh.
We know what we're getting with that. It's zombies. It's Walking Dead. It's violent. It's consistent.
Yeah. This year they did add a photo op out front that I thought was super cool.
I really liked that. They actually had zombies out front. Like, they had people in makeup out front taking pictures with guests in front of this big zombie photo op where they had a whole bunch of still, like, zombie figures behind a fence.
It was really, really cool, and I like that it was just a nice touch that they added to kind of draw people into this maze that kind of gets forgotten and put to the wayside because it is year round.
Exactly.
So it was fun. I like that.
Yeah, I appreciated
and
the
maze
attention
is
to
just
it.
a solid, decent year-round maze. It's tough to critique because it's there all year.
Yeah, exactly. Now from 8 on up, in my opinion, I think we're dealing with good to amazing.
Good, yeah.
Like, in my opinion, every single maze that we're going to be talking about here, either we're going to have critiques or we're going to like one more than others. I think they're all good.
They're all solid mazes.
They're all solid mazes. They're fun. So number 8, Nikki, what's our number 8 maze?
Oh, shoot. My list went away. Oh, no. Number 8 is House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, so House of a Thousand Corpses has been at Halloween Horror Nights before. It's the maze that was here in Hollywood before the movie even existed.
Uh-huh.
So this is a maze that I went through a long time ago when Halloween Horror Nights started going again. And I went through it and I was completely blown away. And this was the maze that really made me fall in love with Halloween Horror Nights.
Uh-huh.
And the immense amount of detail and attention to the film and that happens on a daily basis and in the creation of these experiences. You really distracted me. What are you doing down there?
I'm sorry.
What are you doing down there?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get comfortable. I'm very uncomfortable.
You distracted me. You could probably tell that I went off the rails with what I was saying. No idea what you're doing.
Being uncomfortable.
Clearly. But yeah, no, House of a Thousand Corpses is the reason why I liked Halloween Horror Nights from the get-go. This maze, I felt, hit kind of most of the same notes as that maze did a long time ago. I didn't feel like it did it as well or as good, but you did get the visceral imagery that the film really sets up. And I feel like the style of Rob Zombie's filmmaking really lends itself to a maze.
Yeah. And I think that just the main guy, Captain Spaulding. Yeah, I feel like he is just a creepy guy in general. So having him, like, jump out at you several times throughout the maze is just unsettling in and of itself.
There felt like there was a lot of scares in this maze, too.
Yeah.
Like, a ton of scares.
Almost every room I felt had a Captain Spaulding popping out at you.
Yeah, like, it almost until the end.
Yeah.
Like, where you get into, like, the catacombs.
Yeah.
And you come upon Dr. Satan and all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So, there's a lot of really messed up imagery in this one. Like, this, to me, is, like, the blood and gore gutsy maze one for this year.
Which isn't my thing. Those are never my favorite mazes.
And in actuality, they're really, like, even though it's super duper violent, there wasn't a ton.
No, there wasn't.
Some of the other mazes I think can be a little bit worse. It's just how they show it. This one is just visceral in the sense that it's just very blatant in what it is.
Yes.
It isn't stylizing it in any sort of way. It's just this is the violence and this is what it is.
Yeah.
So they're not trying to hide it. But I felt like there was some moments where they didn't need to have black hallways and they had them.
Yeah.
And scares in those black hallways. But overall, I thought the maze was an enjoyable experience, and I appreciated going through it again and experiencing House of a Thousand Corpses again.
Yeah.
So, next on our list, our number 7 maze for Halloween Horror Nights is Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman.
I thought this one was super fun. It wasn't the scariest, and like there is a reason why it's called Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman and not Frankenstein versus the Wolfman, because they're not actually at odds with each other throughout the maze. They're just kind of existing together, like, oh hey, you're here, I'm here too.
Oh, here's this guy with a gun.
It's kind of like the maze was kind of like either one or the other was like wandering into the other one's story.
Yeah, it felt that way, but I actually liked it.
No, yeah,
way.
it was fun, and it was well done. It was a very picturesque maze.
They had gorgeous sets.
Yeah.
There was actually some scares in there that I actually thought were smart and really fun.
Yes.
And there was a couple moments where I was like, ooh, this is cool.
Yeah.
And one of those moments for me was kind of going through this almost it was almost like a Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory scene where both Frankenstein's monster and the Wolfman were both like on these tables at an angle, and they were strapped in, and you had to walk between them, so they're on either end of you, and you're just like because they're both scare actors and they're moving around and you don't know what they're gonna do, and inevitably one or both scare you, and I just like having to walk through them in just that moment of like, I hope nothing happens.
Yeah, it was super fun. I liked it.
Yeah. There really isn't a ton to say about this. There is a lot of the they leaned on the scares near the end that they did for the Universal Monsters maze last year, where they used a lot of the stretchy fabric to make it look like it's a poster, and then they popped out from behind the poster.
Yeah, but
or
I
like
like
a movie
that.
screen and things like that. It doesn't bother me a ton. I actually kind of like that. It's like one of those Halloween Horror Nights things.
Yeah.
I prefer that way more than a black room scare.
Yeah, I liked it because it was, I think, we're going to get to it soon, but another maze used the poster gag, but there were so many posters that you never knew which one was the gag. And that
was more effective.
That, I think, was really smart, but we'll talk about that next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but overall, I thought Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman was a worthy successor to Universal Monsters. Do I think it lived up to the level that Universal Monsters set up? Not really, no. I don't think it did. I feel like that was a very... those were big shoes to fill. Universal Monsters, to me, was almost flawless in many different ways. It hit many marks for me. Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman definitely meets some marks, but to me doesn't live up to the other maze that it was following. And definitely was following in the footsteps, because the look of the monsters were very much the same.
Yeah.
But I like seeing the Wolfman, I like seeing Frankenstein's monster, and I like the inevitable dark tone that comes with both those things.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that maze a lot.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Next on our list, Nikki.
Next on our list is Creepshow.
Mm-hmm. So this facade was actually kind of cool. This is the first
book.
time that I've actually liked something that was a little bit simpler. Because just the idea of walking into the book. So the whole entrance to the maze is the Creepshow comic book, and you're walking into the pages of it.
Yeah. And it was, I mean, like, I never read the comic books.
Neither did I.
So I didn't have that connection. I know that everyone that we talked to that night and our friends that did have memories of the comics and reading them absolutely loved this maze.
Yeah, and there was a lot of imagery in there that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Definitely familiar with, and that's probably because of the movie.
Yeah.
The original film that came out. But no, I'm definitely not familiar with the comic book in the slightest. But I do like the concept of walking into the book. Like this, you are becoming a part of the book, and you are experiencing the stories that are here. And like you had said, throughout the maze, there are images and graphics of different pages from the comic book or different images from the comic book, and they're so consistent throughout, and I appreciate that, and it kind of connects into that facade. But on top of that, that's how they hide some of the scares, where that creeper pops out from the inside of those images.
Yeah, and that's what I love. You never know which one it's going to come out of.
There was a lot of suspense walking by a lot of those, because you expect it to happen, but they played with it in a way where it kind of defied your expectations, because you expected someone to pop out from one of them, especially after you experienced the first one.
Yeah.
But it didn't always happen, which I appreciated, because then it creates this level of suspense.
Exactly.
But on top of that, just overall, the imagery in the maze is actually pretty great. I really, really appreciated the bug room. So the room's covered in practical bugs.
I was just about to say that. The creepy crawlies.
Yeah, the creepy crawlies gave you the creepy crawlies. Practical bugs. There was a guy who jumps out of the wall that has bugs all over him. And then there's another scene where there's practical bugs plus projected bugs. When I say practical bugs, I don't mean like real freaking bugs.
Yeah, like plastic.
Plastic bugs,
Yeah.
like plastic cockroaches and stuff like that. And there's another one where the zombie wants his cake or something, and it puts the cake on the woman's head, and it's severed head with the candle sticking out of it like a birthday cake.
Yeah.
So there's that too. Just a lot of really fun images. There's imagery. There's silly. In my opinion, it ranges from like silly, scary to downright creepy, weird.
Yeah.
And it kind of runs the gamut between those two things, and I think that's fun to kind of run into that kind of stuff in one maze alone, as opposed to kind of running into those different themes throughout an event. The level of scares change throughout the experience, and it's not just one note.
Yeah, and I think that it fits perfectly with this maze theme, and I think it was really cool and fun.
Yeah, and this particular theme, Creepshow, and it works well for this because Creepshow was never particularly serious.
Yeah.
It was always rather goofy and silly. So it's rather fitting that that's like this. Next maze up on our list is Pandora's Box. So Pandora's Box is over in the tram garage area. So now that there's no Terror Tram, they put two mazes over there where it was us and Pandora's Box. So they were kind of next to each other.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed Pandora's Box because to me it is one of those chroma depth mazes that can mess with you visually, and just it was fun. It was just silly, spooky, scary fun. It was nothing more than it needed to be.
And it was an original maze.
Yes, and it was a good original maze too, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was.
I've heard a lot of people not so happy with it.
It was kind of all over the place. Like it didn't have like a solid, like cohesive, like theme, so to say. It's literally just someone opens Pandora's box and like all hell breaks loose, right?
Yeah, in all honesty, like I'm not 100% sure.
And that's what I think people's problems is. They're not 100% sure.
I feel like when going into the experience, you should be able to tell exactly what it is from just experiencing it. And I feel like if you're unable to say it's definitively this,
yeah, it
makes it. I think it frustrates people.
Exactly, and that's why I think people had a problem with it. But I personally didn't care. It was.
It's the curse of Pandora's box.
Yeah.
And here's the description. It says, some things are never meant to be opened. Sadly for you, someone already has. Unleashing unimaginable evil. Welcome to the curse of Pandora's box, the living nightmare netherworld of Hades, populated by the most fearsome monsters in Greek mythology. Prepare for a trip through hell, where the demonic temptress Pandora serves as your guide. Once the box is open, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now that I've read this, that makes even more sense.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of Greek mythology imagery in here, it's saying. Like, there's a Medusa section. There's a lot of snakes and statues of, like, Greek soldiers.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Wasn't there a guy being eaten by a snake?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He was, like, laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Something like that. That makes a lot of sense now. But like you said, the maze felt very chaotic and kind of just crazy all over the place. Mm-hmm. But I actually think that kind of works.
It works. You never knew. You were always on edge. You never knew what was going to happen, and it kept you on your toes.
Yeah, but even in the aspect of looking at it from a as one piece out of the entirety of Horror Nights, I think it works because a lot of what Horror Nights does is very systematic in what they're trying to achieve. The scares are pretty systematic and they're pretty similar across the board. And when you kind of throw a wrench into things, which to me, the Curse of Pandora's Box is that wrench, where things aren't as systematic, things are a little bit out of control, things feel a little bit chaotic, and a little bit less of a pattern, it makes it that much more scary. And it allows for more scares, especially because people tend to kind of grasp onto what the pattern is in Halloween Horror Nights style mazes.
Definitely. I mean, I've said before, out of all the haunts, Halloween Horror Nights scares me the least because things are so predictable.
Yeah.
And, Pandora's Box kind of broke that mold a tiny bit.
It did. And like I said, it's this chroma depth look, which I'm really surprised they didn't hand out 3D glasses.
Yeah.
Really surprised. But I dug the paint scheme. I dug the style of the maze. There really wasn't a ton that I was unhappy with. If anything, I felt as though the opening scene really didn't have much going on. Like it was like a store.
There should have been
it felt big.
There should have been like a curator in there or someone saying.
Maybe we missed something. Maybe there was.
Maybe there was supposed to be an actor in there, but there should have been someone in there. Like, to me, it would have been perfect if it was like someone frantic, like, have you seen an old box? Like someone stole it from the store like a day ago. Something like that.
So yeah, that would work out really well.
Yeah.
And I know that I saw on the employee preview night, somebody said that there was a pre-show or something, and I was like, whoa, a pre-show at Horror Nights, that's crazy. But there was absolutely nothing. So
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe they got rid of that real quick.
Maybe they did because the line was just absolutely too crazy for them to have something like that, which I don't think a pre-show should be existing anywhere in Horror Nights.
No. But they could
if it's going to affect throughput.
Yeah, but they could still stick an actor in there.
There were actors. That's the thing, is that there was actors in these cloaks kind of sporadically placed around the store, but I don't know what they were part of the story, if they were security or I was very confused by it all. Listeners, if you've went through this and you experienced something here that we didn't, let us know, because I'm genuinely confused.
Yeah.
I'm not really quite sure what was going on there, but I mean, that was really the only negative from my side. But as soon as you hit that chroma depths part of the maze, to me it was just like a fever pitch to the end.
Oh yeah.
And it was really, really fun.
Super cool.
I actually got it pretty good a couple times in there too. So
I don't remember. It was chaos.
You don't remember it?
No.
For me, I remember a lot of scares kind of coming a little bit higher from above me as opposed to...
Well, I saw the scares coming from up high, but they didn't scare me. But I saw them and I was like, cool. Yeah.
Like there was a scene where there was a whole bunch of cages and there were skeletons in the cages.
Yes.
And the sound design made it sound like something broke. Like the lights turned off, it sounded like something broke out, and then the skeletons were out of their cages.
Yeah.
And I just remember saying, that's not good.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
And they just started coming after us, and they came out of the woodwork, which, once again, I appreciate. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
Oh no, the next thing we're talking about is what I was just about to mention. There was something else, but moving on. What's our number 4?
It is Holidays in Hell, the Maze.
Yes, the original maze, not the Scare Zone.
Yeah.
This was a very, very, very fun maze.
We loved it. Yeah.
There was a ton of scares. Mm-hmm. It was lighthearted in a way that Horror Nights can be lighthearted.
Yeah.
Very violent, and just felt like there was another surprise around each and every corner when you entered a new season or a new celebration.
My favorite was Thanksgiving with the people on the table for dinner and then all the turkeys coming out of the woodwork.
What did they do?
That was pretty accurate.
What did they do? That sounds like the turkeys that were in the Horror Nights maze. Yes.
Yeah, and they were popping out of the woodwork with like knives and forks ready to eat the humans for dinner. Like that was a fun part for me.
Whenever I'm going through a maze and I get excited, I'm like, oh, Halloween. Oh, 4th of July.
Yeah.
Just every single one I was excited to see in what demented direction they were going to take it.
Oh, that 4th of July one was
That was gnarly. So on 4th of July, they had a kid that was playing with fireworks, so his legs are completely obliterated.
Yeah.
Gone. His hands are like all burnt to a crisp and
gooey.
gooey and exploded, and his face was burned, and he was sitting on a box, so like his little stub legs were like moving around and stuff. And Sam, Uncle Sam came out, and he's all demented too.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, Cupid was cutting open some woman.
Yeah.
What other stuff they have?
There's Christmas with Krampus. There was...
and then like a creepy devil Santa too.
Yeah.
That was in there. And then they also had Easter. Easter was actually my favorite one.
Yeah.
So they had all the stuff that they had in the Scare Zone last year. So all the demented bunny rabbits and eggs and that kind of stuff. But Isaac got sprayed with water right off the bat. Out of an egg on one of the scenes is this melted, messed up looking peep. And it just came out of the egg and sprayed me with water.
I just missed it. Like, I walked past and then he got
I think I was in
you.
front of you.
No, I was in front of you.
Were you in front of me?
Yeah. You let me go first. And so I walked past you, and then you got soaking wet.
I got sprayed, and then the bunny rabbit came out. But it was funny because his cue isn't normal. Like, normally it's like some type of like really loud noise and flashing light, but this time it was like loud EDM music.
Yeah.
So he came out like dancing almost, and it made me laugh. My hands down favorite was Halloween, and it was because it was a whole room that was black except for
the pumpkin
except
guys.
for black light pumpkins that looked like they were disembodied floating heads just around the room. Very similar to what they did for Halloween years ago.
It reminded me of that right off the bat.
Which,
but,
to me, is really effective.
And that room super scared me in Halloween, and it super unnerved me here, too. So, job well done. Super
duper effective, in my opinion. And just overall, the humor side of it is the reason why I liked it so much.
Yeah.
Because... we're going to be talking about this a little bit later down the line. Big shocker. But humor is a way to kind of distract people from what you're looking at to scare them.
Yeah.
And for Murdy, he's always talked about the set him up and knock him down aspect of scaring. And that's the distraction. Is you have somebody look left, you come from the right. And... not necessarily doing that in a physical manner, but you're doing it with comedy in a way where you make a scene kind of silly and you're making them look left because they're laughing.
Yeah.
They're putting their guard down. And then you hit them hard from the right with a scare.
I think comedy in general, like, you're going into a fun type maze. Like, you go into a maze like Walking Dead or Halloween.
You're
expecting to be scared. But you walk into a maze with a more fun, lighthearted theme, like This Is the End a few years back, or, you know, any of the more lighthearted mazes this year. It's like people go into them and they're caught off guard by the theme and they forget that they're waiting to be scared. And that's when you get really scared.
Yeah, and this maze definitely was lighthearted and like I said, the most lighthearted way that Horror Nights can be.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked it. And I think the silliness aspect mixed with the gory, mixed with the serious, mixed with the funny, mixed with all of the different aspects of every single different holiday, just because each holiday in and out of itself, if you look at it as alone, is pretty ridiculous. And then bumping up how ridiculous each one of those is with a monster and just a demented version of whatever that holiday is representing, I think is perfect, and it is exactly what Horror Nights does well. And so far, we've just talked about 2 separate mazes that were completely original IPs before this, completely original ideas, that they completely knocked out of the park.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is that, you know, although our top 3 are going to be IPs, I mean, the percentage of that happening is going to be high, because there's only 2 original mazes.
Well, top 2 are IPs. We only have 2 left.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do. Oh, no, we have 3.
We have 3.
I can't read.
No, and there's also numbers next to them, which is the worst
part. I know,
part.
there are numbers.
But the fact that 4 and 5 are originals says something.
Yes.
And I definitely think that there needs to be more originals at Horror Nights. Mm-hmm. And that's not simply based on the fact that they're running out of IPs and there's no more ideas and, you know, oh my goodness, they're going to have to start repeating. No, that's not it. It's because Horror Nights is good at it.
Yeah.
They're really good at it. And they've had a history, and I've ranted about this before on the show, that every single original maze that they've done at Horror Nights has been well. Stellar. Mm-hmm. Stellar from top to bottom. And it's because they're not being held to a specific set. They're not being told you have to include this character. They are literally doing what they want, and they care about it, and it's nice, and you could tell.
Yeah.
And it's just like the Scare Zones, where I'm like, Murdy really likes doing, like, traditional, like, historically based things. Like, things from real life, like All Hallows Eve. All of that's based on truth. You know, Pandora's Box, living within the Greek mythology, something that lives in truth. And Holidays in Hell, taking something that people are very used to and bastardizing it and turning it into something that's completely crazy. I think there needs to be more original IPs, and to me, this just 100% solidifies it.
Well, hopefully,
even more.
Hopefully this year and the so far positive reviews of the 2 original mazes will give them encouragement to do more in the future.
Yeah. The thing is that I've heard negative reviews on The Curse of Pandora's Box. Yeah. And I think the reason why is because it feels very Scary Farm. And that is not in any way a slight.
It's just not what people are expecting from Horror Nights.
Exactly. Because in my perspective, if I'm thinking about this correctly, people, when they come to Horror Nights, they're expecting detailed sets, you know, movies they're familiar with and stuff like that. Pandora's Box was none of that. And to me, it wasn't about the highly detailed sets as much as it was enveloping you in a world that was very unique and different.
Yeah.
And that didn't need to be these high-quality movie-style sets. A lot of it was the glow-in-dark sets with black backgrounds, which in this case I was totally okay with because it fit exactly what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Transitioning hallways overall at Horror Nights bothered me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this year wasn't as bad as it normally can be.
It definitely wasn't as bad.
It didn't feel as prevalent as it usually does. But this maze in particular, I felt like utilized the black walls for a particular reason to sell what they were trying to do with the chroma depth color and things like that.
Yes.
So I personally didn't have a problem with it. I like the variety. I like the difference. I like that it strays away from the norms of what Horror Nights does.
Yeah.
And this is something that I've been wanting for a very long time. And I think that's the reason why I liked it more than some people have.
Exactly. And it is the one that is the least familiar. Like even Holidays in Hell has some sort of familiarity that people can grasp onto. It's the holidays.
Hell.
So even though it's an original maze, it's familiar to everyone and they can love it and relate to things and recognize characters, you know, so it still has that going for it.
Exactly. So Nikki, what is our number 3? We're in the top 3 mazes now.
Okay, yes. 1, 2, 3. Our third favorite maze is Ghostbusters.
Who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
This was a maze that I think the top 2 mazes I was looking forward to the most was Killer Klowns and this. Mm-hmm. And this to me hit on every level that I wanted it to. And I left smiling from ear to ear.
Yep.
And it surpassed my expectations of what I thought it was going to be. I was very nervous that it was going to be a lot of black hallways and a lot of just jump scares out of boo holes.
Yeah.
It wasn't all that.
Yeah, it wasn't. And, you know, from the moment you walk up to it and the facade is the front of the firehouse and they have the cab out front with the skeleton in it and they have...
Like the zombie taxi driver.
Yeah. And then they have, what's his name?
Louis Tully walking around like a character.
Yeah, like all disheveled, you know, and he's handing out his business cards and talking to everyone. And the actor that they had playing him, oh man, he had that voice down.
Yeah, he had it down.
Yeah.
He had the cadence down.
Yeah.
He had the lines from the movies down.
And just hearing the music playing.
Just blaring the
Yeah.
Ghostbusters music gets you pumped
You're so
to
ready.
walk in. And there was a lot of, like, I know that when this was announced, there was some stuff that I was like, this has to be in it. If it's not in it, I'm going to be really upset.
Yeah.
The one thing that wasn't in this maze that I really wanted to be in it was the scene where Dan Aykroyd gets it on with a ghost.
Yeah.
I really wanted that scene to make some appearance. I understand why it
Yeah.
didn't. But every other want from this maze showed up.
And logistically, they would have to have like a floating person. Not
No,
really.
you just need him writhing around in a bed.
Yeah.
That's all you needed. But they used the Elmer Bernstein music in the maze, which is something that I really wanted because I feel like people forget about that music.
Yeah.
When they think Ghostbusters, they think of the Ray Parker Jr. song. Yeah, they think about that. But you have the facade of the firehouse up front with the Ecto-1 cutout in the in the actual like parking spot. You walk and you see Janine talking on the phone, and she's going through different scenes. And you know, at least when we went in there was a what's his name?
Egon.
Egon. There was an Egon character walking, like trying to like wrangle the ghost trap that was smoking.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just
it's super comical and fun.
So comical and fun. It just immediately throws you into the film. Mm-hmm. The containment chamber explodes.
Yeah.
And that's where the dark hallways come into play, but in a way that I really didn't care about, and I liked it.
Yeah.
They did a lot of the things that they were that I was alluding to earlier with the Halloween masks that felt like they were disembodied and floating. They did something very similar here, where they had a lot of ghost bodies, but then like a head would start floating around the room, around that body, and then land back on the body. Mm-hmm. And that's because the body itself is just static, and then the actor's head was just the mask, and everything below that was black.
Yeah, that scene was my least favorite scene, but it was
yeah, because it was very generic.
Yeah.
It was very generic.
Yeah.
But overall, I appreciate it more than it just being boo holes.
Yeah.
At least there's something else going on that's a little bit more entertaining.
Entertaining, yeah. Definitely.
Because they had Slimer do the same thing. There was the actor whoever's playing Slimer. Their waist and below was all black tights, and then the Slimer body started from there, and then their arms were Slimer's arms, and then their head was in Slimer's head, and whoever's playing was just walking
floating
back
around,
and forth, but it looked like Slimer was just kind of floating back and forth, and it was so dark that you're kind of like squinting, you're like, is that Slimer? That's Slimer. What is he doing over there?
It was a very faded Slimer. But it worked.
Because he's in the dark, and then he turns, he looks at you, and the actor puts out his arms.
Yeah.
Like he's coming straight for you, just like the movie, like in the hallway when it comes after Ray.
Yeah.
And and then the lights turn on, and then it's a traditional Horror Nights type scare.
Yeah.
But it worked.
Yeah.
It worked, in my opinion. And it takes you through the different scenes in the movie, and that finale scene.
Oh,
holy
amazing.
shit.
It was so cool.
A giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man with the 4 Ghostbusters who were static, shooting their proton packs at him, and just seeing his face projected on there, and it's just like
so
writhing and
cool.
screaming.
My one critique is that in that last scene, which is 98% perfect, I would have liked the mannequins to have more expression on their faces, because they are all just very stoic.
Yeah, because they're mannequins.
Generic mannequins. No, but if they look at what they can do.
I know.
So if they had just had them like grimacing or like in shock, or like just any,
or have them actually be actors.
Yeah, having them be actors is like the number one, top of the line. I wish they would do that, but at the very least, have expression on the mannequins' faces, because it just like, I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, and then I look at the faces and they're just like stoic, like bored, it's just like it took me out of it.
It's weird because they had characters in the maze playing, or they had actors playing those characters in the maze. Why couldn't we have that here?
Yeah.
Maybe it has something to do with the projection, maybe it has something to do with the effects of the proton packs.
Yeah.
No clue. But they did it in it.
Yeah.
So they could have done it again, because they had somebody playing stands. They had somebody in there playing stands, and he shot Slimer with his proton pack, and that whole scene was
super cool,
phenomenal. But even coming up into that scene, you're walking into the Sedgwick Hotel, and you're walking down a hallway, and then at the end of the hallway is the elevator, and it goes ding, and it opens up, and it stands. He goes, "Somebody's seen a ghost," or it says like a series of lines. Some lines, and it's just such a dorky moment. I'm like, yes!
Yeah.
And then you hear the walkie-talkie, fake man! You just, all of it. I just feel like it really just, every single moment hit. Was it the scariest maze in the world?
No. But it wasn't supposed
definitely
to be.
Wasn't. I don't think you can make Ghostbusters scary, in my opinion.
No.
I think it's the nature of the fandom. I think it's not a scary film.
Yeah.
Even though it has scary elements, it is not a scary film. So even if you're trying to make the library go super duper scary, unless you're like doing like this crazy jump scare, I don't think you're going to be able to make it scary.
Yeah.
Same thing with Slimer. I think Slimer can scare you because it's a jump scare.
But he's goofy.
But he's a little goofy.
Yeah.
So, that's not saying I didn't get startled a few times because I wasn't expecting something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wasn't expecting the frickin' Slimer to come straight at my face.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely wasn't expecting that, but I did appreciate it. And then also the terror dogs. You saw them from a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
But how fast they lunged forward definitely gave you, like, a jolt. For sure.
Yeah.
So
that was the part that got me the most was the dogs.
the terror dogs are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then the scene where Dana's is like in the seat and has the arms on her, and then the doors stretching out. Just there was so much to love about this maze from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Even like she's sitting in that seat, and if you look to the right where she's looking, she's watching the TV, and on the TV is the Ghostbusters commercial.
Yeah.
We're ready to believe you.
We're ready to believe you.
So there's from the aspect of just being a fan of the film, a fan of mazes, a fan of Horror Nights, I feel like it was knocked out of the park. And the only reason why it's sitting at number 3 is because it isn't all that scary.
Yeah.
I just feel like every aspect is A+, other than its spooky, scary factor.
Yes.
So, a lot to love here, and this is one of those mazes that you have to see while at Horror Nights.
Make it a
100%
priority.
have to see while at Horror Nights.
Yeah.
So, and then that leads us to our top 2, and our top 2 is going to be Killer Klowns, or is it going to be Us? Those are the only 2. It's Us.
Us is number 2.
Us is number 2.
Yes.
Not Us, but the movie Us.
We're the second scariest thing at Halloween Horror Nights.
Yes, we are.
No, yeah, the movie Us, or it's actually called in the maze. It is called Jordan Peele's Us.
There you go. Yes. This one was way better than I was expecting, and it defied every single expectation that I had.
It was brilliant. Like, I know that we were wondering how this movie, which was fantastic, was going to translate into maze.
That was the biggest question everybody had.
Yeah, and they pulled it off.
And the thing is that I don't know why we were expecting something different, but they did it, what they do with almost every single maze, is they took us through the footsteps of the film.
Yeah.
And not necessarily playing on the idea and the themes of what the movie is, but just playing with what the movie is as a whole.
Yeah.
And it worked. And I think what helped it work was that it felt almost as if they gave a slight bit more freedom to its actors to kind of do what they want in certain scenes. Our biggest scare of the night came from this maze.
Yes, both. 2 different scares, but both from this maze.
So explain your scare.
Okay, so my scare was you were walking through the scene where you first meet the alternate family. I forgot what they're called, but the doppelganger, the tethered. Yeah, where you first meet the tethered family, where they're holding hands at the end of the driveway, and so you see them all there holding hands, and you're walking up to them, and they're mannequins, and I don't know what got into me. But I think I was just so engrossed in how awesome the maze was that I forgot to be on guard. But, my normal thinking about it mind would have been like, oh, one of them is a real actor. But in my head, I was like, oh, cool, they have mannequins that look like the tethered family standing there. That's so cool. There's the sister, there's the dad, there's the mom, there's the son. And then the son,
was
like,
real.
Rah! And he, jumped out at me and scared the living daylights out of me. And totally caught me off guard, and, I got so scared.
So, I recorded this whole maze. I might have that reaction from you.
Yeah.
So, if I have that, it'll be placed right here in the episode, but if you don't hear it, that means I don't have it.
Okay.
So, everyone listening, here you go. I don't like this. Oh! Jeez. I didn't like that at all. Or maybe not.
But we definitely have Gabe's reaction.
100% we have my reaction. So my scare came at the very end of the maze after we see the kind of climactic moment happen. You enter a room where it's very dark, and around the outside of the room is a whole bunch of people holding hands. Not going to go into the movie or anything, but if you know what the movie is and you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. everyone's holding hands around the outside of the room, and you'll hear it in the audio recording. I say, I don't like this, or something to that effect.
Yeah, something similar.
And literally, a second after I say that, some guy comes up right in my ear. It wasn't a loud screaming noise. It wasn't a flashing light. He literally just came up here and went, oh, and I let out the loudest obscenity. Should I bleep it or should I not bleep it?
Don't bleep it.
Okay, I'm not going to bleep it.
It's so funny.
Okay, so if you're going to listen, I yell the F word very loud. So you're forewarned. There will be an F-bomb in this episode coming up right now.
I don't like this. Oh, fuck! Oh, man!
I laugh every single time I hear it.
So do I. It's amazing.
It's hard not to laugh at it. And the thing is that this was my favorite scare of the night. It was the biggest scare of the night. And it was because it wasn't expected. And it was because it was more of a subtle approach to a scare. And I very much appreciate that, because at Horror Nights, I've very come to expect the trapdoor, loud noise, flashing light scare.
Yeah.
And this was literally not that.
And they never get us anymore. The systematic loud noise.
Like, sometimes they'll get me just based on how fast they come out.
Yeah.
Or if they'll catch me like off guard, like not quite paying attention.
Yeah, but it's very rare.
But it's rare.
Yeah.
And they got me really freaking good in us. And then overall, I felt like the sound design was just stellar, on point. And after coming out of the maze, I said that I felt like the music from the movie actually did a very good job in creating suspense for the film, and it did the same thing for the maze.
Yeah.
Just they played the horror version of the I've Got 5 on It song, and just the plucking of the strings and the violins and all that stuff really lent itself to creating this sense of dread and sense of urgency almost throughout the entire maze, and it really put me on edge in every single scene, and I was expecting something to happen even when nothing did happen.
Yeah. I don't retain music as well as you do, but I believe you.
Yeah.
It doesn't stick in my head.
And then another funny moment from that maze is when in the movie, when they go visit their friends that live in the bigger house, they get murdered.
Yeah.
By their tethered,
blondes.
by their doppelgangers. In the maze, they have that scene kind of already have happened, so the tethered are in that room. Yeah. And the father character comes out from a hole, and you can see him, he's like just standing there, and he presses a button, the light goes off, and, you know, a loud noise. And he just stares at whoever's there, and then he puts his hand out really slow, almost like he's gonna shake hands with whoever it is. And I stopped because I'd already gone through that scene, and I stopped and I wanted to watch what was about to happen. And the guy he was doing it to kind of just like looked him up and down, then put out his hand to shake his hand, and the scare actors took it away and kind of did the comb of his hair with his hand, like from the movie, and I just laughed so hard. I was like, yes, that's guest interaction that I love. Yeah. And it's playing into what the character did from the movie, and it was everything I love about Horror Nights. Yeah. So, us was very well done. It hit on every single note for us. And it was so much fun. Yeah. It was the only maze we came out of where we're like, oh, glad that's over.
Yeah, pretty much. So solid number 2 spot.
Mm-hmm. And you're wondering, we're raving about this maze. Like we literally had no negatives about this maze. So why isn't it our number 1?
Because there's something better.
How could there be?
Because it involves clowns.
Killer Klowns from Outer Space is our number 1 maze for this year's Halloween Horror Nights.
It was so good.
And it is good from top to bottom. Like minor issues with it that are definitely because of the location of the maze. But overall, the design of the maze, the scares in the maze, the characters, the sound design, the set design, the clowns, everything was stellar. And it was just my grin was on my face, just like Ghostbusters, from beginning to end, smiling.
All 3 times you went through it.
Yes, all 3 times. And at the beginning of the maze, out front, they have the whole scene with Farmer Gene play out, like from the film. Yeah. Where he's walking in the forest and he's with his dog Pooh Bear, and Pooh Bear gets stolen by the clowns.
Poor Pooh Bear.
And he's like, "Where's my Pooh Bear? I'll tear this down with my bare hands." And he starts getting electrified by the tent. This thing's wired.
It's a really cool scene. I'm glad they have that show moment that plays out so often.
And it's an actor that comes out and he does it. He's like flapping his lips to the words, so like he's lip syncing. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not actually saying it, but the fact that they even have that to me is so cool. And it's a moment from the movie that's very iconic.
Yeah.
So after that, you walk into the maze, and it's the wonderful music from the movie, the score, which is very chaotic and quirky and crazy. And I actually felt like the scares were actually pretty dang good.
They were. And one thing that, when this maze got announced, you made me watch the movie because I had never seen it before. And it was campy, goofy, fun, scary.
It's silly. It's very silly.
One thing that I thought while I was watching the movie was, I am so excited because you know how in every maze you go through, the masks and the costumes are just slightly off because they're not the actual actors, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like for Shining, they actually created a mask
for Jack
Nicholson. For us, they created a Lupita Nyong'o mask, which you can
that one was pretty cool.
You could take or leave.
I liked it because
they actually casted the actors in Orlando, so I mean, I don't know if you could take it or leave it, but I personally didn't mind it.
I liked the masks because it was so unsettling that she was just wide-eyed the whole time. That, to me, was so unsettling, and I love that. But, okay, us aside, we're already done talking about it. I was watching Killer Klowns, and I was so excited because they had the ability to make every actor in that movie, you know, aside from the actual human actors, look carbon copies, basically, from the movie. And they did it. They looked spot on.
It looks like they literally took the clown from out of the movie and just placed it in the maze. And
while I was watching the movie, I was so excited because I was like, they are going to do this so well in the maze. And they did.
Yeah, the only downside, I think, if I start thinking about it, is like, I wish there was maybe some of the characters from the movies that weren't
clowns.
Yeah. Like, you had Farmer Jean, that was cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's enough for me. But it would have been a plus if you added somebody else in there, like some of the main characters.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of had Mooney, because he's the puppet where the clown puts his hand in his back.
Yeah, that scene was so cool.
We just want to kill you.
Yeah.
That was a very unnerving scene, and I actually think they did it much better in Hollywood than they did Orlando.
Yeah.
Just based on like the layout of the actual office and having to walk by him. Because when I walked through by myself, mind you, like completely by myself. Nobody was with me. And he just snapped his head towards me and just stared at me as I walked through the room. And that was very unnerving.
Yeah.
Even though I knew he wasn't going to do anything, it was still very unnerving to just be like the sole person of his attention.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, the scares were actually pretty fantastic. And it was because I felt like a lot of them were coming from unexpected areas. So the very first scare kind of comes from high to the left. And like they did the same thing that Creepshow used, where it was that elastic fabric. So it looked like part of the circus tent. So you can't see where the scene was because of the vertical lines everywhere. And he just freaking threw himself from that spot. And it actually startled me.
Yeah.
Because he came out so fast.
Yeah.
And then just all the actors playing the clowns got the nuances of the clowns correct.
Yeah. Because a lot of times the clowns are huge. A lot of times
you can't sneak up on someone.
You can't sneak up, you can't hide. So a lot of times you walk into a room and the clown is there in plain sight the whole time. But that's even worse because you're like, oh, he's watching me from all the way over there. You know, it makes it kind of creepier.
So like the clown with the balloon dog, you could see where he was. It's not like he could hide very well.
Yeah.
But the fact that when he starts moving after you pretty quickly, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
And as you turn that corner, then you see the monster doing the shadow puppets, and he lunges at you really quickly. And it isn't about the jump scare like coming out of a boo hole, although that does work. It's about staring at these clowns and like feeling a little uneasy about what they're doing and how they look. And then as soon as they lunge at you and just make the thick, fast, quick movements, it totally throws you off, in my opinion. And for me, I was like, yeah. Every single time they would do it. It sounded like the Three Stooges every single time. They would, yeah. Every time they would jump after me. And just how accurate the maze felt to the films. And one of my favorite moments from it, and I remember mentioning it to you as we were going through it, is in the films, they open up a door and he's like, another door.
Yeah.
Another door. Another door. So in the maze, when you kind of make your way down a pathway, those kind of plastic sheets,
room separators
they have a lot of the time. There was literally 5 in a row.
And they were
each one of them had a door on it, and all you hear is, another door! Another door!
As you peeled them apart to walk through them. It was so cool. It was a very funhousey type of feel.
It did, and that's why I liked it so much, and that mixed with the scares, I think, just worked very, very well.
Yeah.
And like I said, the only thing that I had a gripe with was Clownzilla. Clownzilla was ahead.
Yeah.
And it's because the vertical space just is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no vertical space to build a huge Clownzilla if they have in Orlando. There's just no space to do it.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier, is like they would have to have done it in the soundstage in order to do something like that. So although I have a little bit of a problem with it, I totally understand why, and I'm okay with living without it.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of really positive things to this whole experience. And Killer Klowns as a whole to us is the number one, because the scares weren't, the set design is incredible, the audio design is incredible, the makeup of the clown design feels like it's pulled from the movie.
Really does.
And just every single thing hit on every single note. It was just so much fun to go through, enough for me to want to go through it 2 more times. Go through it 3 times that night.
Yeah, no, it's great, and that's why it's at our number 1 spot, and it 100% deserves to be there.
And it's funny because we went through a House of a Thousand Corpses, and lo and behold, right in front of us was John Murdy and Chris Williams. They were there just kind of going through, checking the maze and that kind of stuff, and I said hello and was talking to them, and he was asking me, what are your 2 favorite mazes? And I said, Killer Klowns and Ghostbusters. And he goes, that's funny because those are the 2 comedic houses. And, the more I thought about it, the more I came to my realization that in all these years of Horror Nights, I think my one little gripe with it is that it took itself too seriously.
Yeah.
And it felt like the fun was starting to get sucked out of it because it needed to be super intense, strong horror only, and you can only do that because that's only the scariest things.
Yeah.
But I feel like people forget that in horror movies there's
always comedic relief.
There's always comedic relief, but there's always this ridiculousness that people tend to kind of ignore because it's just part of horror movies as a whole that is very comedic in nature.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that the 2 mazes that are there that are, one is mainly known as a comedy with horror aspects. The other one is a horror mainly known for its comedic aspects. But I'm glad that they were lighthearted because it brought this whole new feeling to the event where it wasn't so serious. It wasn't so staunch in its position on horror. It allowed me to kind of laugh and feel a little bit more loose at the experience of Horror Nights than it has in the past.
Yeah, and I just love the vibe of the whole event this year. Like between the mazes and the scare zones, all of them having somewhat of a lighter feel to them.
I mean, Toxic Tunnel, more lighthearted this time around.
Yeah.
And I had a lot more fun because it wasn't so serious. I think I just got really over it being so serious.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the reason why I like Scary Farm and Queen Mary and Fright Fest, because all of them don't take themselves seriously. And although there's things at Halloween Horror Nights I absolutely love and I wouldn't want them to change in its tone, I do think it benefits from utilizing IP or even original concepts that aren't straight horror only, and allowing it to live in its craziness and allowing it to recognize that. Because Holidays in Hell is pretty silly.
Yeah, it totally is.
It's pretty silly.
Yeah.
It's scary as hell, but it's silly. So I just hope that Horror Nights moves in that direction and allowing itself to kind of make fun of itself in a way, or make fun of horror movies and allowing people to kind of experience mazes that are less traditional and more comedic at times. I don't think Horror Nights is going soft in the slightest. I think that if you were to look at Stranger Things and think, oh, Stranger Things isn't horror, you're 100% wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going softer just because they're including different types of versions of what horror can encompass.
And, maybe this year was just a fluke. Like, the IPs they got and decided to go with were, not as straight horror. But I think it proved to them that it can work. And maybe it's something that they'll keep on going in the future. I think just, like, a good balance is what they need. And this year was a good balance.
It definitely was. And in all honesty, Horror Nights and Universal is brilliant. Because they have brought in a whole audience of people who would never go to Horror Nights.
Well, go to a haunt.
Or do a haunt
Yeah.
at all. And now want to go because of Ghostbusters, Stranger Things, and Killer Klowns.
Yep.
My sister hates haunted houses. Absolutely hates them from top to bottom. Wants to go to Horror Nights because of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And this is brilliant for them to market it as such, because now they're opening up Horror Nights to a group of people who would never have thought about going before.
Yeah.
So they're going to make a lot of money just based on that alone. So I don't really have a problem with utilizing IP that kind of goes in that direction if it means that people are going to enjoy it, because that's cool. Horror Nights is already crowded as hell, so it's not like it can get crazier.
Yeah.
So
it's
it
just
is
going to
what
be
it
crazy.
is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Just buy Friend the Line and deal with it.
Exactly. So I personally appreciate switching gears a little bit and focusing more on some IPs that are a little less traditional and a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
So, as a whole, I think this year's event was just stellar from top to bottom. Like you had said, its tone was a little bit more lighthearted, and I think that helped us appreciate it a bit more. I think that the makeup was on point. I thought that the effects that they were using were on point. Just a lot of the different aspects of the event as a whole, I applaud, because it feels much better and it feels like a step in the right direction.
I agree on all accounts.
So, that brings us to the end of our Horror Nights 2019 coverage.
Oh.
You sound so sad.
I wish there was more.
I mean,
I don't actually.
We could make more.
No, there was a lot of mazes, and we covered it all. The only thing we didn't talk about was Jabberwockies, but we didn't see Jabberwockies. But it's you know what to expect there. If you've gone before or if you've seen them anywhere, yeah, sometimes slightly horror themes, but not always. So so there's Jabberwockies.
Then they have 80s Throwback Thursdays, so on Thursday nights it's going to be 80s Throwback.
Yeah, but that wasn't really the case.
It was weird because the DJ that was on the lower lot was playing like modern EDM music.
Yeah.
It was confusing.
Yeah. We got stuck on Jurassic Park.
But even then, it was still like a party atmosphere.
Yeah, it was
fun. And they had a roaming chainsaw gang
They
too.
did have a roaming chainsaw gang, and that was really fun because we've always said that needs to be a scare zone again. That needs to be a scare zone again. And while they didn't necessarily make it a scare zone again, they put scare actors down there with chainsaws. It solidifies
our opinion, though,
and it was great. We were sitting down eating, watching people get scared by chainsaws, right outside of
Dress World, Pan Express, Transformers.
Yeah, and it was great.
Yeah, that whole area was pretty fantastic to sit down and just kind of enjoy, because you don't really have that. I mean, unless you want to go all the way to the entrance of the park, far away from everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think that this year's Horror Nights is a step up from its previous years. Let's hope that it continues to go in that direction. I would love to see them tackle some more IP that isn't traditional horror and goes in the direction of what a Ghostbusters and a Killer Klowns is. Gremlins. So
I would love it, Gremlins.
Telling you, bait and switch. Doing a quote original house where it feels like an original house, starts original,
and then
it just gets overrun by Gremlins.
And then they take over. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, exactly. That would be phenomenal. And then at the very end is a little singing gizmo to send you on your way. Close enough.
Close.
We have one of them singing Gizmo dolls in Aaron's bedroom.
Is
Obsessed. Anyway, this is the end of this episode.
No,
Thank you so much. No, it's not. Oh, we have one more joke, don't we?
I have a rogue skeleton joke ready.
A rogue skeleton joke?
Well, yeah, because you said my segment's over and I wasn't allowed another. But I'm doing another one.
Fine, then do it.
Okay. Where do skeletons go for a night out?
The boneyard.
No.
Where do skeletons go for a night out? Where?
Anywhere, as long as it's a hip joint.
Jesus Christ. I think that's the better of all of the things you said this episode. That's pretty good. I like that.
Yay.
I enjoy that. I like that one. Just come to Silver Lake.
Yeah. Skeletons everywhere. Ugh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for listening to this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed our review of Halloween Horror Nights 2019 here at Universal Studios Hollywood. Let us know, do you agree with our list? Do you disagree with our list? We want to hear what your opinions are on this year's Halloween Horror Nights. If you want to, you can reach out to us on all of our social media channels. You can find us at Theme Park Duo on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Hopefully we'll be putting up a YouTube video of our experiences at Horror Nights. Mm-hmm. It's just zero time to do stuff.
Yeah.
Some time. But that will be up in the near future. If you want to email us, you can just email us at
themeparkduo@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. And if you haven't already, make sure you head on over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star written review. If you don't want to leave a written review, just a 5-star review helps too.
Anything helps.
Exactly, and it helps other people find us and enjoy us like you are right now. Thank you again, everybody, and always remember, there's always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. See ya!
Thanks for riding with the Theme Park Duo. Make sure to gather all your belongings before the end of the podcast. Bye-bye.